Heaven says, "My precious one, listen carefully, for this is a moment of divine revelation. This is a sacred unveiling sent directly from the spiritual realm to reach you before more damage is done. A betrayal has been happening within your family circle. A deception has been growing behind closed doors. A plot against you has been developing right under your nose. 2 of your relatives have been working against you in ways you suspected but could not confirm. 2 of your family members have been speaking against you when you were not present. 2 of your own blood connections have betrayed your trust while pretending to support you. You may have felt it in your spirit. You may have sensed it in their presence. You may have noticed subtle signs that something was not right. That feeling was not your imagination. That unease was not paranoia. That discomfort was your spirit discerning what your eyes could not yet see. I come to you now with confirmation of what your heart already knows. I bring you validation of what your intuition has been telling you. I deliver to you the truth about these family members before their actions cause deeper wounds in your life. Something has been happening in your family without your knowledge. Something has been planned in your absence that affects your well-being. Something has been set in motion that was designed to harm your reputation and future. 2 relatives who should have protected you have been undermining you instead. 2 family members who should have celebrated your success have been jealous of your progress. 2 people connected to you by blood have been connecting with others against you. They have spoken about you in rooms where you were not welcome. They have shared your private struggles with people who had no right to know. They have twisted your words and actions to paint you in the worst possible light. You may not have discovered the full extent of their betrayal yet, but the heavens have witnessed everything. The spiritual realm has recorded every conversation, every plan, every action taken against you by these 2 relatives. And now you must know what has been hidden. You must understand what has been concealed. You must see what has been kept in darkness. These 2 family members have been smiling to your face while working against you behind your back. They have been offering empty words of support while actively creating obstacles in your path. They have been pretending loyalty while their hearts harbored bitterness and resentment toward you. The damage they intended has already begun to affect areas of your life. The harm they plotted has already touched parts of your journey. The pain they designed has already created confusion and setbacks in your world. But this revelation comes to you now as divine intervention before their plans can fully manifest. These 2 relatives have spoken lies about you to other family members. These 2 blood connections have spread rumors about your character and intentions. These 2 people who should have honored family bonds have broken trust in the most personal ways. They have gathered information about your life not to protect you but to use against you. They have listened to your struggles not to support you but to expose your vulnerabilities. They have observed your challenges not to help you but to find satisfaction in your difficulties. That job opportunity that mysteriously disappeared after you shared the news with family? One of these relatives contacted the company with false information about you. That relationship that suddenly became complicated after you introduced them to your family? One of these relatives pulled that person aside and planted seeds of doubt about your character. That friendship that cooled without explanation? These relatives shared private details and distorted truths that changed how that friend saw you. You have felt it happening but could not prove it. You have noticed the pattern but doubted your own perceptions. You have sensed the betrayal but questioned if you were being paranoid. My child, your instincts were correct. Your intuition was accurate. Your spirit was discerning truth that your mind could not yet accept. These two relatives have acted from places of deep jealousy. These two family members have moved from positions of bitter envy. These two connections have operated from hearts filled with resentment about your progress. They could not bear to see you succeed where they had failed. They could not tolerate watching you receive recognition they felt they deserved. They could not accept your growth while they remained stagnant in their own lives. And so they worked together to create barriers to your success. And so they collaborated to damage relationships important to you. And so they united in efforts to limit your advancement and happiness. This betrayal runs deeper than casual family disagreement. This deception goes beyond normal family tension. This conspiracy extends into areas meant to cause lasting damage to your reputation, relationships, and opportunities. The text messages they have sent about you. The phone calls they have made concerning you. The meetings they have had focusing on you. All have been recorded in the spiritual realm, and now the truth is being revealed to you. But my precious one, do not let your heart be troubled. Do not allow anger to consume your spirit. Do not permit bitterness to take root in your soul. For I am revealing this betrayal to you not to create greater division but to protect you from further harm. I am uncovering this deception not to destroy your family but to establish proper boundaries within it. I am exposing these actions not to breed hatred but to guide you toward wisdom and discernment. This revelation comes to you from a place of love. This unveiling reaches you from a position of protection. This truth finds you from a foundation of divine care for your well-being. What these relatives intended for harm will not accomplish its purpose. What these family members designed for your downfall will not achieve its goal. What these two plotted for your decrease will not reach its intended outcome. Instead, this exposure will become your protection. This revelation will serve as your boundary. This truth will function as your shield going forward. The plans they made in darkness are now brought to light. The schemes they developed in secret are now exposed to truth. The traps they set in hiding are now visible before you. And what is seen cannot harm you as deeply as what remains hidden. What is known cannot wound you as severely as what stays concealed. What is revealed cannot damage you as permanently as what continues in darkness. You now stand in a position of power, not victimhood. You now move from a place of knowledge, not confusion. You now operate with clarity, not uncertainty. The very exposure that feels painful is your pathway to healing. The very revelation that seems hurtful is your doorway to freedom. The very truth that appears troubling is your road to liberation from deception. My child, this family betrayal will not define your story. This relative deception will not determine your future. This blood bond broken will not dictate your destiny. This is not the first time you have experienced disappointment in family relationships. This is not the first time you have felt let down by those who should love you. This is not the first time you have sensed dishonesty from relatives. But this situation is different. This betrayal runs deeper than past hurts. This deception carries consequences beyond typical family disagreements. In the past, family conflicts were open and visible. In the past, disagreements happened face to face. In the past, tensions existed but without hidden agendas. But these two relatives have operated with calculated intention. But these two family members have moved with deliberate planning. But these two connections have acted with strategic purpose to undermine multiple areas of your life. They have maintained the appearance of family loyalty while actively working against your interests. They have preserved the facade of supportive relationships while deliberately creating obstacles for you. They have kept the mask of familial care while intentionally damaging your reputation and opportunities. What makes this betrayal different is the systematic nature of their actions. What makes this deception unique is the coordinated effort between these two relatives. What makes this situation serious is their intent to cause lasting damage rather than momentary hurt. They have shared your private struggles with those who had no right to know. They have contacted people in your professional circle with misleading information. They have reached out to your friends and partners with distorted stories about who you truly are. The spiritual realm has witnessed phone calls made late at night about you. The heavenly eyes have seen text messages exchanged plotting against your progress. The divine awareness has observed meetings where your name was discussed with harmful intent. Do you sense now why this situation required divine intervention? Do you understand now why this revelation could not wait any longer? Do you recognize now why this truth needed to reach you with urgency? The damage being done was expanding beyond family boundaries into areas affecting your entire future. The harm being created was growing beyond personal hurt into professional and social dimensions. The injury being formed was developing beyond emotional pain into practical life limitations. This is the time to be alert to signs of further deception. This is the time to be watchful for patterns of continued betrayal. This is the time to be attentive to evidence of ongoing schemes. My precious one, you must now view interactions with these two relatives through eyes of wisdom. You must now filter their words through discernment. You must now evaluate their actions through cautious understanding. Not every smile carries genuine happiness for you. Not every offer of help comes without hidden motives. Not every expression of interest springs from pure intentions. Watch carefully for questions that seek to gather information about your plans. Listen closely for conversations that attempt to learn about new opportunities in your life. Observe thoughtfully when they show sudden interest in your personal relationships or professional connections. These may not be signs of growing care but continued collection of information to use against you. Notice when your successes are met with strained congratulations. Pay attention when your good news is received with subtle redirections. Be aware when your achievements are acknowledged with quick changes of subject. True celebration does not rush past your moments of victory. Genuine support does not minimize your accomplishments. Authentic love does not compete with your happiness. You will see their true responses in unguarded moments. You will hear their real thoughts in offhand comments. You will feel their actual intentions in the energy they bring to conversations about your life. This vigilance is not about living in suspicion of all family. This awareness is not about mistrusting every relative. This attentiveness is not about isolating yourself from family connections. It is about establishing wise boundaries with two specific people who have demonstrated through their actions that they cannot be trusted with your vulnerable information. Even as these two relatives continue their plans against you, I am implementing greater plans for your protection. Even as they speak words to damage your reputation, I am speaking louder words of truth about who you truly are. Even as they work to close doors of opportunity, I am working to open doors they cannot shut. You do not see all that is happening in the spiritual realm. You do not perceive the full extent of divine intervention. You do not recognize every movement of heavenly protection around your life. But forces beyond human sight are already in motion on your behalf. Powers that operate outside physical vision are already working for your vindication. Energies that function beyond material understanding are already securing your path forward. Where these relatives planted seeds of doubt about you, truth is already sprouting to overcome their words. Where these family members created impressions of distrust, clarity is already emerging to restore right understanding. Where these two spread confusion about your character, wisdom is already developing to reveal your true nature. People who were influenced by their stories will begin to see inconsistencies. Individuals who heard their tales will start to notice contradictions. Those who received their reports will commence questioning the source of such information. This divine counteraction requires no effort from you. This heavenly response demands no revenge from your hands. This spiritual intervention needs no human force to accomplish its purpose. The very lies told about you will become the evidence of your truth. The very schemes created against you will become proof of your integrity. The very traps set for you will become testimony of your authentic character. For lies cannot stand forever in the face of consistent truth. Deception cannot survive indefinitely when confronted with living reality. Falsehood cannot maintain its power permanently when challenged by ongoing evidence to the contrary. My precious one, you need not fear what these two relatives have done or continue to do. You need not dread the impact of their words or actions. You need not worry about the influence of their betrayal. For what is established in truth will always outlast what is constructed from lies. You are not alone in facing this family betrayal. You have never been isolated in experiencing this relative deception. You have never been abandoned to navigate this blood bond broken. Even in the family gatherings where you felt subtly excluded. Even in the conversations where you sensed hidden meanings behind words. Even in the moments when you questioned if you were imagining the tension directed toward you. My precious one, I have been present for every painful moment. I have witnessed every hurtful exchange. I have observed every damaging action. The times when tears came after family phone calls, I was there. The instances when confusion followed family events, I remained with you. The occasions when hurt lingered after interactions with these relatives, I never left your side. No prayer for understanding went unheard. No question about family dynamics went unnoticed. No confusion about these relationships went unaddressed. All has been seen. All has been noted. All has led to this moment of revelation and clarity. The loneliness you felt was real, but you were never truly alone. The isolation you experienced was genuine, but you were never actually abandoned. The separation you endured was palpable, but you were never really disconnected from divine presence. You have developed strength through this family trial that could come no other way. You have gained discernment through this relative challenge that could develop through no other means. You have cultivated wisdom through this blood bond difficulty that could grow from no other soil. The very pain that seemed meaningless was building capacity within you. The very confusion that appeared purposeless was creating clarity within your spirit. The very betrayal that felt senseless was establishing boundaries necessary for your future well-being. These two relatives have inadvertently contributed to your greater development. These two family members have unintentionally participated in your deeper growth. These two connections have unknowingly assisted in your more profound maturation into wisdom and discernment that will serve you for years to come. I will not allow these relatives' betrayal to define your family story. I will not permit their deception to determine your family legacy. I will not accept their treachery as the final word in your family narrative. For I stand as protector of your peace, guardian of your purpose, defender of your destiny. The relationships broken through their actions will be restored in better form. The opportunities delayed through their interference will be returned with greater potential. The reputation questioned through their words will be re-established with stronger credibility. There is coming a time of natural revelation within your family circle. There is approaching a season of inevitable exposure among your relatives. There is nearing a period of unavoidable truth that will bring clarity to all who have been confused. Others in your family have already begun to sense discrepancies. Other relatives have already started to notice inconsistencies. Other family members have already commenced questioning narratives they once accepted. The very ones who were influenced by these two relatives will begin to see with clearer vision. The very people who believed their accounts will start to discern underlying motives. The very family members who were temporarily swayed will commence recognizing patterns of deception. For truth has a quality that endures beyond deception. Integrity carries a weight that outlasts dishonesty. Authentic character holds a consistency that surpasses pretense. You need not defend yourself with forceful words. You need not justify yourself with detailed explanations. You need not vindicate yourself with emotional arguments. Simply continuing to live your truth will become your greatest defense. Consistently walking in your integrity will serve as your most powerful explanation. Steadily moving in your authentic character will function as your ultimate vindication. Family harmony may not be fully restored with these two relatives. Family trust may not be completely re-established with these two members. Family intimacy may not be entirely recovered with these two connections. But your wider family circle will eventually recognize truth. Your broader family community will ultimately discern reality. This clarification has already started in realizations you do not yet know exist. You have been allowed to experience this family betrayal because it serves a greater purpose in your development. You have been permitted to endure this relative deception because it contributes to a larger plan for your growth. You have been given awareness of this blood bond broken because it connects to a wider design for your wisdom. This painful revelation has come to you not to destroy your trust but to refine it. This difficult truth has reached you not to eliminate your capacity for love but to direct it with greater wisdom. This challenging insight has found you not to diminish your compassion but to pair it with necessary discernment. You are being positioned to understand authentic relationship in deeper ways. You are being prepared to recognize genuine connection with greater clarity. You are being developed to discern true loyalty with sharper perception. The pain of this moment is cultivating wisdom that will serve your entire future. The difficulty of this season is generating discernment that will protect all your coming relationships. The challenge of this revelation is producing understanding that will guide your life's most important connections. Had you continued in ignorance of these relatives' true intentions, greater harm awaited you. Had you remained unaware of these family members' real motives, larger damage was positioned to unfold. Had you stayed unconscious of these connections' actual purposes, more significant loss was prepared to enter your life. This divine revelation of family truth arrives not a moment too soon and not a moment too late. This heavenly exposure of relative deception comes at precisely the right time in your journey. This spiritual uncovering of blood bond betrayal manifests at the exact moment needed to protect your path forward. My precious one, even family betrayal can be transformed into beneficial wisdom when viewed through spiritual eyes. Even relative deception can be converted into valuable discernment when processed with divine perspective. Even blood bond brokenness can be changed into essential boundaries when approached with heavenly understanding. The confusion these two relatives created in your family will soon give way to understanding. The chaos they generated in your relationships will shortly transform into order. The uncertainty they produced in your social circles will quickly develop into clarity. You will begin to see patterns in their behavior that were previously hidden from view. You will start to recognize strategies in their actions that were formerly concealed from your awareness. You will commence perceiving intentions in their words that were once obscured from your understanding. Family gatherings that felt tense without explanation will suddenly make sense. Conversations that seem to carry strange undercurrents will become clear in their actual purpose. Interactions that appeared to hold unspoken tension will reveal their true foundation. As this clarity develops, you will gain wisdom about proper boundaries. As this understanding grows, you will receive insight about healthy family dynamics. As this perception increases, you will obtain knowledge about genuine versus performative relationships. Those family members who truly support you will become unmistakably evident. Those relatives who genuinely care for you will become undeniably clear. Those blood connections who authentically value you will become undoubtedly apparent. The contrast between real love and pretended affection will grow sharper. The difference between authentic support and performed loyalty will become more distinct. The separation between true connection and surface relationship will appear more defined. This emerging clarity is not meant to create permanent division but to establish necessary boundaries. This developing understanding is not designed to generate lasting separation but to construct essential protection. This growing perception is not intended to produce perpetual isolation but to form fundamental discernment in all your relationships going forward. My precious one, stand firm in your new understanding of these two relatives. Walk confidently with this knowledge of family reality. Move forward with this awareness of relationship truth. Do not second-guess what has been revealed to you. Do not doubt what has been shown to you. Do not question what has been uncovered for you. Your tendency toward giving endless chances must now be tempered with wisdom. Your pattern of offering unlimited trust must now be balanced with discernment. Your habit of providing boundless information must now be guided by careful consideration. Set clear boundaries around what you share with these two relatives. Establish firm limits on what you reveal about your plans and opportunities. Create definite restrictions on what you discuss about your personal and professional life. This is not about harboring unforgiveness. This is not about nursing bitter resentment. This is not about maintaining angry grudges. This is about protecting your peace with proper boundaries. This is about preserving your purpose with wise limitations. This is about maintaining your path with necessary restrictions. You can still show basic respect without exposing vulnerability. You can still demonstrate civil interaction without revealing sensitive information. You can still exhibit family courtesy without sharing your deepest plans. These boundaries are not punishment for them but protection for you. These limitations are not vengeance against them but vigilance for yourself. These restrictions are not retaliation toward them but responsibility toward your well-being. Do not allow this revelation to transform your heart into a vessel of bitterness. Do not permit this understanding to change your spirit into a container of resentment. Do not let this awareness convert your soul into a holder of unforgiveness. The natural human response to betrayal is retaliation. The normal personal reaction to deception is revenge. The common emotional answer to treachery is vindictiveness. But you are called to a higher response. But you are guided toward a better reaction. But you are led to a more excellent answer. Seeking vengeance would only entangle you in the same darkness that motivated these relatives. Pursuing retribution would only connect you to the same negative energy that inspired their actions. Chasing revenge would only bind you to the same destructive forces that fueled their betrayal. Some will suggest confronting these two relatives with emotional accusations. Some will recommend exposing them publicly with detailed evidence. Some will advise cutting them off completely with dramatic declarations. There is wisdom in none of these approaches. There is benefit in none of these strategies. There is healing in none of these methods. Instead, maintain dignified distance without fiery announcements. Instead, establish quiet boundaries without passionate proclamations. Instead, create thoughtful limitations without heated explanations. Your strength will be found in calm certainty, not emotional reactivity. Your power will be discovered in peaceful resolve, not angry outbursts. Your authority will be uncovered in quiet confidence, not loud declarations. The desire to make these relatives understand their impact or acknowledge their actions is natural but unnecessary for your healing. The wish to have these family members recognize their betrayal or admit their deception is normal but not essential for your peace. The hope for these two people to confess their behavior or validate your experience is understandable but not required for your freedom to move forward. No matter what damage these two relatives have caused, complete restoration awaits you. No matter what harm these family members have created, total healing approaches you. No matter what injury these blood connections have generated, full recovery advances toward you.